So tonight's first award goes to the agents of change who we're calling the pioneers, representing the early Asian American movement in New York City. Each of the following people has a rich story to tell of the community work they started over 40 years ago. As activists, students, and volunteers, passionate and courageous, they were among the first to stand up for the rights of Asian immigrants at a time when Asians were largely out of sight of the political sphere. They had no idea what would become of their work and their personal sacrifices, but they stuck by their visionary commitment. And so we thank you and we honor you for laying the foundation of the movement. I'd like to call them to the stage, and for those who would like to follow along the programs, their biographies are on page 12. So please come and join us, Tomie Arai, Fei Cheng, Margaret Chin, Minerva Chin, Michio Kaku. Is he not here? Oh, sorry. Youngmin Lee. Harold Louis. No. Grace Lou Volkhausen. Fei Chu Matsuda. Yiling Poon. And to say a few words on behalf of the group, Lydia Tom.
So on behalf of my fellow pioneers and myself, I want to thank everyone for this honor and the recognition tonight. But I think the true pioneers are my parents and others who came from a foreign country, who is willing to defend our country's freedoms and look for better opportunities. They found that all the doors were not open and not all of them were welcoming. And through their sacrifices, working in low-wage jobs and long hours in restaurants, garment shops, laundries, and our farms, we were afforded a roof over our heads, basic necessities, and a college education. The largest social movements of our day were like a reset button. They provided a framework, a new framework for values, direction, and purpose. We found common ground with other communities like ours and inspiration from developing countries around the world. We saw no limits to what we could do, and we empowered our communities through action. This was very untypical model minority behavior. Giving voice to past injustices, we uncovered our hidden past and documented our contributions to America. Organizing massive community protests for the first time in Chinatown, we awakened a sleeping giant. We stood up for equal access to jobs, denied services, and mobilized for civic engagement. This was also a cultural renaissance, giving birth to writers, poets, and artists who engaged our communities, our youth, and our seniors to tell our story, document our achievements, and inspire us to do more. We created new institutions, built housing, brought capital to reinvest in our neighborhoods. We built Asian American Studies programs, historical societies, health and legal clinics, senior and child care centers, civil rights organizations, Asian Americans for Equal Employment, today's AAFE. As we look back at the past 40 years, let us remember our work is far from done. Today, housing is less affordable than when I was growing up. You need 3 minimum wage jobs in New York City to afford an apartment. More are paying bigger chunks of their paychecks towards housing and could easily become homeless. Our college graduates, not just our less educated, are trapped in low-wage jobs. Organizations like AAFE continue to be instrumental in giving voice to this, to help secure resources, capital, and solutions to the growing inequity in America. So I think we can do better, I think we should do better, and together I think we can get there. Thank you.